The issue with consent and reasonable belief in consent is really something to do with education. The law says that someone can have a sexual relationship with another person provided the other person is consenting to that. Of course, there are age limits to that as well. But on the assumption that we're talking about two adults, provided one person clearly gives consent. Now, it's not a case of having to get a written form or a laminated document or a tick list or anything like that. It's sensible. If you meet someone at a party, let's say it's a boy who meets a girl or a man who meets a woman at a party and she's asleep in bed because she's had a lot to drink or even some drugs, whatever the case may be, you can't just go ahead and start doing as you wish to do. Even if she's your girlfriend or your partner, your wife, whatever the case may be, you have to have a reasonable belief that she is consenting. Well, what amounts to a reasonable belief? Well, what is in this case she? Because of course, this can be a same-sex relationship. It doesn't need to be male-female, but we'll talk about male-female for this video. But the situation is you've got to believe, if you're the guy here, you've got to believe that that female that you're with is consenting. So what is she doing? Is she talking to you? Is she kissing you? Is she doing sexual acts with you? Is she taking her own clothes off? Is she moving around the bed or the floor or the chair or whatever the case may be? And so what is it when that police officer is talking to my clients, our clients, in a police station saying, Mr. X, what was it that this woman was doing that made you have a reasonable belief, not any kind of a belief, but a reasonable belief that she was consenting? Well, these are the things that he can say in these circumstances. She was doing this, she was doing that. So you need to have consent before you start. No consent and you must stop. And the thing with consent is this: not only shouldn't you start without consent, but if that person withdraws consent part way through, even in sexual intercourse, if you are having sexual intercourse with that partner and she says stop, you stop. Now, it's a situation I try to compare this situation to people is this. If you're driving your car even at 20 miles an hour and you press the brakes, you don't stop on a sixpence. And if you're driving at 70 miles an hour, you certainly don't. So if I can give that analogy, despite the fact the woman may say stop, you've got to stop, and you've got to stop quickly. Otherwise, you are no longer have consent, and on a sexual intercourse situation, you are then raping that person. That's how serious that can be.